Hi, welcome to a session on t-test for hypothesis testing using Microsoft Excel. My name is Dr. R.D. Chaudhary. I am working as an associate professor at MG Science Institute, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Topic of my session is how to perform various t-tests for hypothesis testing using Microsoft Excel. As you know, there are many statistical softwares like SPSS, Minitab, SAS, R programmings for statistical analysis of research data. Most of the researchers and academicians are familiar with Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet application for data manipulation, calculations, and graphical representation. In this session, we will look at how to install the data analysis tool pack if it is not installed in your Microsoft Excel, and then how to use data analysis tool pack to perform t-test for hypothesis testing using Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel has number of built-in functions available to perform mathematical, statistical, accounting, engineering calculations. Apart from these functions, some add-in features are also available in Microsoft Excel that support statistical analysis. One such a add-in is a data analysis tool pack. If you open Microsoft Excel, you can see that in a data tab, there is to the extreme left, there is a data analysis button if it is installed in your Microsoft Excel. Right now in my Microsoft Excel, it is not installed. So let us see how to install that. So go to the Office button, click on the Office button, then click on the Excel options. A new pop-up window will open. Now, to the left of the pop-up window, there are various options. So out of that, select add-ins. Then to the right of that, there is an analysis tool pack, that is inactive applications add-ins. So select the analysis tool pack. Then click on the go to button. Okay, so it will open a new pop-up window about add-ins. Select the analysis toolpack add-ins and analysis toolpack VBA add-in. Click OK. Automatically it will install the data analysis toolpack. And now if you click on the data tab and see the left right of that window, you can see the data analysis button. Now data analysis tool package already installed in our Microsoft Excel, so we can use various data analysis techniques from this data add-ins to perform statistical analysis. So this is the procedure to install add-ins for Microsoft Excel, which is already explained step by step in my presentation. So you can anytime you can follow the presentation and install the data analysis add-ins. Okay, now let us start with the first hypothesis testing problem, that is one sample t-test using Microsoft Excel. Basically, in Excel add-ins, there is no such a one sample t-test available in data analysis toolpack, but still we can use one sample t-test in Excel using a dummy variable. So let us see the one sample t-test with the help of example. So we have a data about the systolic blood pressure. A medical researcher obtained the systolic blood pressure readings in the accompanying list from the sample of women aged 18 to 24 who have a new strain of viral infection. So healthy women in that particular age group have a reading are normally distributed with mean SBP of 114.8. So, sorry, we have 16 observations on the systolic blood pressure, right? So the research question is that does it seems that the new strain of viral infection affect the systolic blood pressure or not? So for a healthy woman, the systolic BP for the age group of 18 to 24, it is 114.8. And we want to test whether this new strain of viral infection affect the systolic BP or not. Okay, so let mu be the systolic BP of a woman age 18 to 24 who have a new strain of viral infection with a standard deviation of sigma square. Mu is the population mean, sigma square is the population standard deviation. Now the researcher wants to test whether the new strain of viral infection affect the SBP or not. If it affect the systolic blood pressure, then obviously the value of mu is not equal to 114.8. But if it does not affect, then the SBP for the woman is mu equal to 114.8, that is for the normal woman, right? So the hypothesis testing problem can be set up as H naught mu equal to 114.8 against H1 mu not equal to 114.8. So remember, H naught is known as the null hypothesis, H1 is known as the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is always in terms of equality, and the alternative hypothesis is based on the research question. It may be less than, it may be greater than, or it may be not equal to. If the null hypothesis is less than type, then we have a left-tailed hypothesis. If it is greater than type, we have a right-tailed hypothesis. If it is not equal to, then we have a two-tailed hypothesis. In our question, we have two-tailed hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. The same statement can also be written as the null hypothesis H naught as the new strain of viral infection does not affect SBP because mu is 114.8. If it affects, then mu is not equal to 114.8. Okay. Now, since the population standard deviation sigma square is not known, we use one sample t test. Okay. To perform one sample t-test, let us open a data file for hypothesis testing.xls. So we have a data file. If you go to Excel and open the data file, you can see there are various sheets available in this Excel file. The first sheet, Excel 01, is about the systolic BP. Now, since we have to apply a one sample test, and we know that in data analysis toolpack, there is no one sample test, but still we can use one sample test by using a dummy variable. So you can add a dummy variable as dummy in the C column with few values as 0. After that, go to a data tab, then select a data analysis button, and if you scroll down in the data analysis pop-up window, we have t-test, that is paired two sample for means, t-test two sample assuming equal variance, t-test two sample assuming unequal variance. So just select t-test two sample assuming unequal variance, then click OK button. Now a new pop-up window will open, that is about the t-test two sample assuming unequal variances. Now here we have to input the data. So variable 1 range and variable 2 range. So if you click in the variable 1 range, then click on the spreadsheet, that is SBP. So select the entire range of data for systolic blood pressure for variable 1 as a range. Then click in variable 2 range and select the data that is dummy. Okay. Now since we have to test the hypothesis that mu is 114.8, so you can specify here the hypothesized mean difference as 114.8, right? Again, in the range of the variable 1 and variable 2, we have selected the data label. So you can tick here data label. Okay, so these are the options available for t-test to sample assuming unequal variance. Okay, by default the value of alpha is 5%, but you can choose the value of alpha as 1%. Now after that we have to select the output range where we want the output, right? So click on that particular box and on the spreadsheet click on any cell where you want the output, right? After that click OK button. So automatically we have, after clicking OK button, we have the entire t-test, one sample t-test analysis. Now this is the output of one sample t-test analysis, but since we have used two sample t-test, so you can change the name by one sample. Okay, so this is one sample analysis. Okay, so what it gives you, the entire output gives you the mean systolic blood pressure, that is 124.23, the variance of a systolic blood pressure, that is 50.226, right? Number of observations, so there are 16 observations. Hypothesized mean difference, that is 114.8. The degrees of freedom, that is 14, 15. It is the number of observation minus 1. Okay, so this is how we can perform one sample t-test, right? So this is the procedure, step-by-step procedure to perform a one sample t-test. Okay, so if you look at the window, t-test to sample assuming unequal variance. So variable 1 range, select systolic blood pressure range here. In the variable 2 range, select dummy variable range here. Hypothesize mean difference, select the value of the mu under the null hypothesis. Tick mark the label if you have already selected the label in the variable range, and in place of the output range specify the cell address where you want the output. After entering all this information, click OK button so that you will get the output. So this is how we have selected the range of the data, hypothesize mean, then the labels and the output range. After that, if you click on the OK button, you will get the output of one sample t-test like this. But since we have used one sample t-test, we have used two sample t-test for a one sample data, the title of the output that we have to change. So just change the title of the output as a t-test one sample, right? So this is the output for the one sample t-test. Now the main question is how to interpret, how to analyze the data, how to analyze the output. So in the entire output, since our alternative hypothesis, if you look at the alternative hypothesis, our alternative hypothesis is two-sided, that is mu not equal to 114.8. So we have to look at the two-tailed value. So this highlighted value is the p-value, that is a probability value. It is also known as a significant value. It is 0.114652, right? So this is the p-value for the two-tailed hypothesis. And if you want to test one-tailed, then look at this last fourth value, that is 0.057326. This is one-tailed p-value. Now since our hypothesis, alternative hypothesis is two-tailed, we are interested in a two-tailed p-value which is 0.11465. Okay, so to take the decision about the acceptance and the rejection of the hypothesis, the procedure is compare this p-value with the 5% level of significance or 1% level of significance, right? Since we have specified the 5% value as a level of significance, so we compare the p-value. The p-value of one sample t-test is 0.114652, which is greater than 0.05. It means that we failed to reject the null hypothesis. In an earlier session by Dr. Paraksha, it is already explained that how to compare the p-value. So whenever the p-value is less than the level of significance, we reject the null hypothesis. If the p-value is not less than the level of significance, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So in our case, for one sample t-test, the p-value is 0.114652, which is greater than the level of significance 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. It means that H naught mu equal to 114.8 is not rejected, right? It is not rejected. That means we conclude that the new strain of viral infection does not affect the systolic blood pressure. That is, the systolic blood pressure of women from the age group 18 to 14 who have new strain of viral infection has the SBP as 114.8. It is not increased or it is not decreased. So this is how we can use Microsoft Excel add-in for one sample t test. Okay, now the second example is about a two sample t-test. Now in two sample t-test, we have two different types of two sample t-test. Two sample t-test assuming equal variance and two sample t-test assuming unequal variances. Now when we have two populations, we have to compare two populations and the population variances for the two populations are assumed to be equal and unknown, then in that case we can use two sample t-test assuming equal variances, right? But when the two population variances are unknown and unequal, then under such a situation we can use two sample t-test assuming unequal variances. It means that before applying two sample t-test, we have to check whether the variances are equal or unequal, right? So to apply t-test, two sample t-test, first of all, we have to check whether the variances are equal or variances are not equal. So this can be checked using f-test two sample for variances, right? So let us see how to compare the two variances, how to test the hypothesis about the two variances, that using f-test. Okay, so let us see this with the help of example. A researcher wished to know if infants from India took on average less time to walk alone than infants in USA. So the researcher took a sample of 12 infants from India and USA and observed the mean age at which they walk alone. So following data is available, is collected, that is 12 observations from India and 12 observations from USA. The data is in terms of the month, that is age in months. And the researcher wants to test whether the infants from India took on average less time to walk alone than that of infants in USA. So that means here we have two different means we have to compare. Now, since we have to apply two sample tests, first of all, we have to check whether their variances are equal or not, right? So first of all, we have to test whether there is a significant difference between the variances of time to walk alone for infants from India and infants from USA, right? So since we have two different population, one is a population of infants from India, another is a population of infants from USA. So for first population, let sigma square 1 be the variance of time to walk alone for infants from India, and sigma square 2 be the variance of time to walk alone for infants from USA. And we want to test H naught, the null hypothesis, sigma square 1 equal to sigma square 2 against H1 sigma square 1 not equal to sigma square 2. As I told you, null hypothesis is always in terms of equality. And in this case, we want to test whether the variances of the two populations are equal or they are not equal. So that is, the null hypothesis can be written as the variances are equal against the alternative hypothesis variance are not equal. Okay. Now to do this, to apply test of equality of variances, that is to apply F test, again open the data file, that is data file for hypothesis testing XLS X. Go to the example sheet 02A. You can see the data on two columns, that is sample from India, sample from USA, each having 12 observations, right? Now click on the data analysis item on the data tab or ribbon. A new data analysis window will open like the one which is on your screen. Select F-test to sample for variances and click OK button. Once you click OK button, a new pop-up window will open about F-test to sample for variances, right? Now it is exactly similar to the one which we opened earlier for one sample, two sample t-test. So in the variable 1 range, we have to specify the data range for variable 1. In the variable 2 range, we have to specify the data range for variable 2. If the labels are selected in the range, you can tick here the label. If you want to test at 1% level of significance, you can specify the value of alpha as 1%, but by default, Excel take the value 5%, that is 0.05. And to get the output of the F test, you can specify whether you want output in the existing Excel sheet, or you want output in a new worksheet, or you want output in a new workbook, that is new file. So basically, when we apply such a test, we want to store the output in the same worksheet. So you can select the first option, that is output range, and specify the cell address where you want output. After selecting all these 1, 2, 3, 4 options, just click on the OK button. It will give you the output. So as I told you, in the variable 1 range, select the data from India, sample data from India. In the variable 2 range, select the data from sample range from USA. Tick mark the label and specify the output and click OK. It will give you the output like this, right? So F test to sample for variances. As you can see, the first column is about the name, titles, that is mean, variance, observation, degrees of freedom. F, test statistics, and P, this is the probability value. Okay, this is the P value, what we call it as a P value or significant value. Second column gives you the summary measures for the sample from India. third column gives you the summary measures for the sample from USA. So the first value is 10.375 is the mean for sample from India, and 12.20 is the mean from sample from USA. Similarly, the variance is 1.94 for the first sample and 2.1 for the second sample. In each data, there are 12 observations, and these are the degrees of freedom. So basically, for taking the decision about the acceptance and rejection of the hypothesis, we have to focus on the p-value, that is the significant value. Okay, so here is the significant value, that is 0.45170. So this is the significant value for the F test. Again, the p-value is compared with the 5% level of significance. In our case, the p-value of the test is 0.4517, which is greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. When we fail to reject the null hypothesis means the null hypothesis H naught sigma square 1 equal to sigma square 2 is not rejected. Hence, we conclude that the two variances are equal. Now, it is clear that the variances are equal for the two populations. So, we can apply two sample t-test assuming equal variances. Okay, so let us see how to perform a two sample t-test assuming equal variances for the data. Again, we have a same data. If you read the first line of the question, researcher wished to know if infants from India took on an average less time to walk alone than that of infants in USA. So researcher wants to know whether infants from India took less time on average to walk alone than infants in USA. So based on this particular statement, we have to set up the null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so as you know that already we have this data in the Excel sheet. Okay, so let mu1 be the average time in months to walk alone for infants from India. Mu2 be the average time in months to walk alone for infants from USA. Now, since the question of the researcher is this, if infants from India took on average less time to walk alone than infants from USA. As you know that mu1 is the average time for infants from India, and mu2 is the average time to walk alone for infants from USA. So we want, researcher want to test whether mu1 is less than mu2 or not, right? So as I told you, the null hypothesis is always about the equality. So h naught mu1 equal to mu2 against h1 mu1 less than mu2. Or in other words, the same can also be written as the null hypothesis H naught, the average time for walk alone for infants from India and infants from USA are same. That means their means are same. Against the alternative hypothesis H1, infants from India took on an average less time to walk alone than that of infants in USA. So that means the alternative hypothesis H1 mu1 less than mu2 is a one-tailed hypothesis. It is a one-tailed hypothesis. Okay. So again, to perform this two sample t-test with equal variances, open the data file for hypothesis testing.xlsx, go to the third sheet, example 03, you can see the data, right? Then once that sheet is open, click on the data tab and then click on the data analysis button. So it will, once you click on the data analysis button, a new window will open about the data analysis. Scroll down and select the t-test to sample assuming equal variances, and then click on the OK button. It will open again a similar window in a new pop-up window, that is t-test to sample assuming equal variances. Okay, so here similar to the earlier example, you have to specify the range for the variable 1, you have to specify the range for the variable 2, you have to specify the hypothesized mean difference, right? Hypothesized mean difference. Then the labels, if you have selected the labels, you have to specify the output range. Okay, now let us see what should be the hypothesized mean difference. As you know that the null hypothesis is h0 mu1 equal to mu2 against h1 mu1 less than mu2, right? So under the null hypothesis, that means assuming that the null hypothesis is true, their means are same. If their means are same, the mean difference is 0. That means if mu1 equal to mu2, then mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0. So under the null hypothesis, hypothesized mean difference is 0. Okay, so this is how we can specify the variable range for the first variable, variable range for the second variable, then specifies the hypothesized mean difference, that is 0. Since we have selected the data along with the labels, so tick mark here, tick the labels, specify the level of significance alpha as 5%, specify the cell address where you want the output, and after selecting all these things, just click on the OK button. It will it will paste the output in the particular range, right? So this is the output of a t-test, that is two sample assuming equal variances. Okay, so if you look at the output again, here we have similar type of a descriptive summary of the data, that is mean for the first sample is 10.375, mean for the second sample, that is 12.20, variance is 1.94, variance is 2.1, and since we have specified the level of significance alpha, and we have assumed that the null hypothesis is h naught mu1 equal to mu2, so the hypothesis difference is 0, and here the since the alternative hypothesis is less than type, the p value we have to take, that is one tailed, right? So remember here actually there are four different values, actually five values. The first one, that is t stat, it is the value of the test statistics. Okay, it is the value of the test statistic. The next one, that is probability t less than or equal to small t, one tail. So this is the p value for one tail test. Next to that is a critical value, right? So in hypothesis testing, there are two approaches. One approach is a traditional approach. In traditional approach, we compare the t statistic with the critical value and take the decision, right? In new approach, that is known as a p-value approach, we compare, instead of comparing the t statistic with critical value, we can compare the p-value with the corresponding level of significance, right? But nowadays most of the researcher are using the second approach, that is the p-value approach. Okay, so the first value p, probability t less or equal to t, one tailed, it is a one tailed p value, right? Next to that is a critical value, one tail critical value. Okay, next to that is a one tail critical value. Next to that is probability t less or equal to t, that is a two tailed. This is a two tailed p value, 0.0045 is a two tailed p value, right? So remember it depends on the alternative hypothesis. If the alternative hypothesis is one-tailed means it is less than or greater than, then we can use the one-tailed p-value. If the alternative hypothesis is not equal to, we can use a two-tailed p-value. Since in our case, if you look at the problem, hypothesis problem, in our case, the null hypothesis is mu1 equal to mu2 against h1 mu1 less than mu2. So your alternative hypothesis h1 is a one-tailed test. So we use one-tailed p-value. So one-tailed p-value is 0.00229. Okay. So the p-value is 0.00229, which is less than 5% or 0.05. We reject the null hypothesis H naught mu1 equal to mu2. Okay, so when we reject the null hypothesis, it means that the complementary hypothesis or the alternative hypothesis H1 mu1 less than mu2 is accepted, right? So it means that the alternative hypothesis is accepted at 5% level of significance. Now, okay, now when the alternative hypothesis is accepted, it means that mu1 is less than mu2. That is, we conclude that infants from India took on average less time to walk alone than that of infants in USA, right? So this is the decision based on the two sample t test. Okay, so this is about two sample t test assuming equal variances. Okay, now similar to equal variances, we have another test for unequal variances. But remember one thing, you have to decide whether to apply equal variances or unequal variances after applying F test, right? So for applying two sample t test, first step is apply the F test for equality of variances. If the variances are equal, then use two sample t test assuming equal variances. If the variances are not equal, then sorry, then use two sample t-test assuming unequal variances, right? Now, to discuss two sample t-test assuming unequal variances, let us see one example about the white blood cell count. Okay, so white blood cell counts are helpful for assessing the liver disease, radiation, bone marrow failure, and infectious disease. So below are white blood cell counts found in simple random samples of males and females based on the data from the third National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. So we have few observations for female about the WBC count, few observations for male about the WBC count, white blood cell count, right? And what we want to test, to use 5% level of significance to test the claim that females and males have different mean WBC count. That means the average white blood cell counts for male and average blood cell count for female, they are different. This we want to test. Okay, so based on this, we have to set up the null and alternative hypothesis. Now, since we want to test the mean blood cell count for male and female, so the problem is about testing the means of two populations. But since we don't know whether the variances for the two populations are equal or unequal, so before applying two sample t-test, we have to apply F test for testing equality of variances. Okay, so we have to apply F test. Okay, so let sigma square 1 be the variance of the WBC count of females and sigma square 2 be the variance, that is the population variance of WBC count for males. Since we have two populations, so for the first population of females, sigma square 1 is the variance. For the second population of males, sigma square 2 with the variance of the WBC count. And we want to test H naught sigma square 1 equal to sigma square 2 and against the alternative hypothesis sigma square 1 not equal to sigma square 2. That is, the null hypothesis is the variances are equal against the variances are not equal. Okay, they are not equal. Okay, now again to uh, apply this particular test, we have to open a data file. I will show you how to perform this so that you will get the idea. So the data file is the same data file, that is data file for hypothesis testing.xlsx, right? Go to example 02 B tab, go to example 02 B tab, right? So you can see the data in two columns, WBC count for females, WBC count for male, right? So there are, if you look at the observations, so there are 27 27 observations for female and there are 23 observations for males. Okay, so again to apply F test for equality of variances, go to a data tab, right? Then select, click on the data analysis button. It will open a new window. Just scroll up and you can see here there is a F test two sample for variances. So select F test two sample for variances, click on the OK button. It will open a new pop-up window, that is F test two sample for variances. Again, as usual, here we have to specify the range for variable 1, specify the range for variable 2, tick mark, select the label if you have included the labels, and specify the value of alpha, specify the output options. Okay, so here in the variable 1 range, click inside the white box and then click on the Excel sheet and select the entire data. You can select the data by clicking on the title and by holding the shift button and down arrow. So it will select the entire data. Okay, this is one way, or another way is just click on the first label and then just drag the mouse up to the last cell. Okay, so this is the first variable 1 range. Click on the next box of the variable 2 range. Again, select the data, right? Since we have selected the label for both the variable, tick mark here, that is labels. If you want to test at 1%, change the value of the alpha to 1%, but right now we have to test at 5%. Okay, then click on the output range, click on the white box and select the cell where you want the output. After selecting all the range and selecting the output range address, click on the OK button. So it will show you the output for the F test of equality of variances. Okay, so it gives you three columns. The first column is about mean, variance, number of observation, F test statistics, then the p value and the F critical value. The second column is about the first variable, its mean, its variance, number of observations and degrees of freedom. Third column is about the WBC count for males, that is mean, variance, number of observations and the degrees of freedom, right? So as I told you, out of all these things, for us to take the decision about the acceptance and the rejection of the hypothesis, for us the p value is important. Okay, so this p value is most important for us to take the decision. Okay, so this is how we can apply f test. So already I have explained these steps. Okay, how to select the data range for variable 1, for variable 2, tick mark the label, then select the level of significance alpha, specify the output range, click OK, it will give you the output. So this is the output. Okay, so the p value for the test is 0.0358. Okay, now this p value we have to compare with the level of significance. Okay, so here the p value of the f test, two sample for variances, is 0.0358. Okay, it is 0.0358, which is less than 5%, that is 0.05 level of significance. So we reject the null hypothesis at 5% level of significance. Okay, so when we reject the null hypothesis, that means h naught sigma square 1 equal to sigma square 2 is rejected. It means that the alternative hypothesis h naught h1 sigma square 1 equal not equal to sigma square 2 is accepted. So we conclude that the variances are unequal. Okay, we conclude that the variances are unequal. Now we can apply two sample t-test for unequal variances, because after applying f-test, we have the decision that the variances are unequal. Now we can apply two sample t-test assuming unequal variances. Okay, so again for the same data, let mu1 be the average WBC count of female for the population, mu2 be the average WBC count for the males for the entire population. Okay, so we wish to test the claim. What is the claim? If you see the problem, the claim is that females and males have different mean WBC counts. Okay, their WBC counts are different for male and female. Okay, so the hypothesis testing problem can be written as h naught mu1 equal to mu2 against h1 mu1 not equal to mu2. Right, as I told you, the null hypothesis is always about equality, and the alternative hypothesis is based on the question in the problem. Since here we want to test whether there is a difference or not, so we have the alternative hypothesis h1 mu1 not equal to mu2, which is a two-tailed hypothesis. Okay, the same can also be written in terms of the word, that is h naught, the average WBC count of female and males are same against the average WBC count of females and males are different. Okay, so this is how we can set up the alternative hypothesis. Okay, okay, so again open the data file, that is data file for hypothesis testing.xlsx. Go to the Excel sheet example 04, you can see the data. Okay, so if you open the data file in example 04, you can see the same data, right? That is WBC count of females and WBC count of males. Okay, then after opening a data file, we have to click on the data analysis toolpack. See the data analysis toolpack. Okay, so click on the data analysis toolpack, then it will open a new pop-up window, that is a data analysis. Okay, now in that, below that analysis toolbox, we have a window where various statistical methods are available. So select t-test to sample assuming unequal variances. Okay, after selecting that, just click on the OK button. It will open a new pop-up window about the t-test two sample assuming unequal variances. Okay, so just specify the range for the variable 1, range for the variable 2, hypothesize mean difference, then labels alpha, that is a level of significance, and the output range. Okay, so let us see how to perform this in Excel. Okay, so just open the Excel example 04 data sheet, then go to a data tab, click on the data analysis button. Okay, just scroll down and you can see the last second option, that is t-test to sample assuming unequal variances. Okay, click on the OK button, it will open a new window, right? And then just select the range here. Okay, you can, this already, because I have already selected this, so it shows the previous values. Okay, so specify the range here, that is WBC count. Okay, so entire range along with the label, then range for the second variable, WBC count for male. Okay, now the hypothesized mean difference. Okay, so let us see what is the hypothesized mean difference. Look at this. What is the null hypothesis? Our null hypothesis is H naught mu1 equal to mu2. When we say that mu1 equal to mu2, it means that means are same for both the groups. Okay, both the population. So mu1 equal to mu2 means mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0. That means under the null hypothesis, the difference between the mean is 0. That is, the hypothesized mean difference is 0. So in Excel here we have to specify the hypothesized mean difference as 0. Since we have selected the labels, tick mark here, specify the value of the level of significance, right? And specify the output cell address where you want the output. Okay, so for example, I want the output at E4 cell. Okay, so just click on the E4 cell and click OK button. It will paste the output of the two sample t-test assuming unequal variances. Okay, so again, as usual, there are various columns. The first column is about the summary measures, second column is about the first variable, third column is about the second variable. It gives you the mean variance for both the samples. Okay, this is the mean for the first sample, that is mean WBC count for the female. This is a mean WBC count for the male. Okay, this is variance for female, this is variance for male. Okay, and in all there are 27 plus 23 observation, 27 for female, 23 for male, and the hypothesized mean difference is 0. Okay, so this is the test statistic value. Okay, this is the t-test, that is t statistic value. Okay, this is the p value. Okay, this is the p value. Okay, for one tail this is the p value, for two tail. Okay, this is for one tail, this is for two tail, and these are the critical values. Okay, these are the t critical values. If you want to compare the critical values, so you can compare t statistic with the critical value, right? Otherwise you can compare the p value. Okay, so this p value based on the alternative hypothesis, either one tailed or two tailed. Okay, so in our case the alternative hypothesis is, just a minute. Sorry for the disturbance. In our case, the alternative hypothesis is mu1 not equal to mu2, right? So when we say mu1 not equal to mu2, so it is a two-tailed hypothesis, right? So when the hypothesis is two-tailed, so we have to check the two-tailed p-value. Okay, so the two-tailed p-value is 0.3482. Okay, so it is 0.3482. So the p-value of the t-test two sample assuming equal variances is 0.3482, which is greater than 0.05, right? Since the p-value is greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis at 5% level of significance, right? That means we fail to reject the null hypothesis mu1 equal to mu2. Means accept the null hypothesis mu1 equal to mu2 at 5% level of significance, and hence we conclude that there is, since we accept the null hypothesis, that is mu1 equal to mu2, when we say mu1 equal to mu2, it means that there is no significant difference between the average WBC count of females and males. That means their WBC count, average WBC counts are same. Okay, so this is how we can test a two sample t-test assuming equal variances. Okay, and now the last section is about paired t-test. Okay, up to this we have discussed one sample t-test, we have discussed F-test for comparing two variances, two sample t-test. In two sample t-test, there are two different t-tests. One is two sample t-test assuming equal variances, two sample t-test assuming unequal variance. So the two sample t-test, whether it is equal variances or unequal variances, they are used when the two samples are independently selected, right? So independently selected means what? So to see that, let us see the data, right? So here we have the data. In this case, two sample. So one sample is WBC count of females and WBC count of males. Here we have two different groups. One is a group of females, another is a group of males, and we have collected the WBC count for females, we have collected the WBC count for males. So the two samples are independent. Okay, so when we have independent samples, we can use a two sample test assuming equal variances or two sample test assuming unequal variances. But many a times we have the data about the dependent sample. That means the two samples are not independent, but they are dependent, right? So what is the meaning of dependent? So that we will see with the help of example. Okay, so suppose we have a sample of cholesterol levels taken from 24 hospital employees who were on a standard American diet. So we have 24 hospital employees, right? They are on a standard American diet. Okay, and their sample cholesterol levels are taken based on a standard American diet, right? And who agreed to adopt a vegetarian diet for 1 month. Okay, so these 24 hospital employees are agreed to adopt a vegetarian diet for 1 month. Okay, so serum cholesterol level measurement before adopting the diet and after 1 month of vegetarian diet is collected, right? So if you look at the observation, if you look at the subject or objects, so we have 24 employees. For same 24 employees, that means the employee is same. Say for example, let us say the third employee. For the third employee, we have the serum cholesterol level on a standard diet. That means before adopting a vegetarian diet, on a standard American diet, the serum cholesterol level for the third employee is 204, right? So this is before vegetarian diet, right? Now, after 1 month of vegetarian diet, for the same third employee, the serum cholesterol level is measured and that is 178, right? So if you look at the data, earlier data and this data, in earlier case we have one group of female, another group of male, and for both the groups we have WBC count. Here we have the group is same, that is 24 hospital employees. For the same 24 hospital employees, we have data about their serum cholesterol level on a standard American diet, that is before adopting a vegetarian diet, and after adopting a vegetarian diet. For the same employees we have another 24 observations, right? So such a data is known as a dependent data, and that is why it is also known as a paired data. So such a test is known as a paired t-test. Okay, so in our case, let mu1 be the average cholesterol level before vegetarian diet and mu2 be the average cholesterol level, serum cholesterol level after after adopting a vegetarian diet. As the samples are dependent, as I explained earlier, because we have pair of observations for the same subject. Okay, for one subject we have two observation, one is before and another is after. So whenever we have such a type of data, we can use a paired t-test. Okay, so we wish to test whether the diet is effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level or not. Okay, so here the question of the researcher is this: is the diet effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level? What is the meaning of that? Is the diet effective? That means we have the data on a standard diet and for same employees after adopting a vegetarian diet. If after adopting a vegetarian diet, if the serum cholesterol level reduces, then we can say that the diet is effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level. Okay, so we have mu1 with the cholesterol level before vegetarian diet and mu2 be the serum cholesterol level after adopting a vegetarian diet. Okay, so if the diet is effective, then the average serum cholesterol level after the diet, after the vegetarian diet will be reduced. Okay, after the vegetarian diet will be reduced. So the same can be written in notation as h naught mu1 equal to mu2. As I told you, the null hypothesis is always about equality, right? And based on the research question, we have to write the alternative hypothesis accordingly. Now, since here we want to test whether the vegetarian diet reduces the cholesterol level or not, right? So if the vegetarian diet reduces the cholesterol level, then mu2 must be smaller than mu2. So we have the alternative hypothesis H1 mu1 greater than mu2. That means the vegetarian diet reduces the serum cholesterol level, right? So this is the right-tailed hypothesis. So we are testing the uh, right side of the null hypothesis. Okay, so the same can also be written as, if the null hypothesis is mu1 equal to mu2, it means that mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0. Against, if we write this, so mu1 minus mu2 greater than 0. That means the difference between the mean is 0, against the difference between the mean is greater than 0. Okay, the same can be written in terms of the words, that is the null hypothesis, the diet is not effective. Since their serum cholesterol levels are same, the diet is not effective, right, in reducing the serum cholesterol level. Against, mu1 minus mu2 is greater than 0, that is mu2 is smaller. It means that the diet is effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level. Okay, so to see or to check the pair t-test, again open the data file for hypothesis testing.xls, go to the Excel sheet, that is example 05, You can see the data. So we have the data like this. Okay, so this is the data for next pair t-test example. Okay, so we have 24 subjects, and for all the 24 subject we have the serum cholesterol level before adopting the vegetarian diet and serum cholesterol level after adopting the vegetarian diet. Okay, so to apply pair t-test, again go to the data tab. Okay, and then to the extreme left right there is a data analysis button, so click on that button and you can see a data analysis window pop up. Then select the last fourth option, that is t-test paired to sample for means. Click on the OK button. Okay, so again a new pop-up window will open. It shows the variable range 1, it shows the variable range 2, specify the hypothesized mean difference, select the label, specify the level of significance, specify the output range and click OK. Right. So let us see how to perform this. Right. So remember, if you are selecting the range for the variable along with the label, okay, so you have to tick here, the tick mark the label. If you are selecting from the data only, right, without the label, then no need to select the label. Okay, but it is a good practice to select the data along with the label, so that in the output it shows the label also. Okay, now hypothesize mean difference. Okay, so see what is the hypothesized mean difference. As I told you, hypothesized mean difference is the mean difference under the null hypothesis. Okay, so what is a null hypothesis? H naught mu1 equal to mu2, or H naught mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0. So the hypothesized mean difference is 0. Okay, so we have to specify here the hypothesized mean difference as 0. Since we have selected the data labels, okay, we have selected the data labels, you can tick mark here, specify the level of significance as alpha, that is 0.05, click on the output range, click on the white box and select the cell address where you want the output, and then just click OK. It will show you the output of the paired t-test. Okay, it will show you the output of the paired t-test. Okay, so it is exactly the same to that of the earlier output. We have 3 columns. First column is about the summary titles. Second column is about the first variable, that is before. Next column is about after. We have the mean cholesterol level before the diet, and after the diet we have the variance of the cholesterol, variance between the observations of the cholesterol level before and after the diet, number of observations, right, and the hypothesized mean difference. This is the t statistic. As I told you earlier, this is the t statistics. Okay, this is the critical value for one tail, this is the critical value for two tail, right? But basically we use the p-value approach for the comparison purpose. Okay, so this is the p-value. Okay, this is the p-value for the one tail test. As you know, in our case we have a right tailed, whether it is right tailed or left tailed, we consider it as a one tailed hypothesis testing problem. Okay, so we have a right tail, so we use this particular value as a p-value and compare this p-value with 5% level of significance. Okay, and accordingly we have to take the decision. Okay, so this is the output. Okay, the p-value is 4.2174 e minus point minus 0.06. Now remember, since this is the value which is in exponent notation, scientific notation. Actually, the meaning of this is 4.2174 into 10 raised to minus 0.6, 10 raised to 6. Okay, minus 6. Okay, it is 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, so look at this. The meaning of this is 4.2174 into 10 raised to minus 6. It means that the value is 0.000004, right? That is very close to 0. The value is very close to 0. So which is less than 0.05. The p-value of the pair test is less than 0.05. So we reject the null hypothesis at 5% level of significance. That is, mu d equal to 0 is rejected. Mu d means the difference between the mean. Okay, mu d means it is this. This is the mu d, difference between the mean. That is rejected, right? So we reject the null hypothesis. Okay, that is mu d equal to mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0 is rejected, right? Now when mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0 is rejected, we conclude that mu d is not equal to 0. That means mu d is greater than 0. So vegetarian diet is effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level. Okay, vegetarian diet is effective in reducing the serum cholesterol level, right? So this is how we can use Microsoft Excel add-in to perform various t-tests for hypothesis testing. You can practice this in Microsoft Excel. Uh, I have used Microsoft Excel 2007. For 2019 and other version, there is a slight change. Not major changes are there, but minute changes are there. But still you can install the analysis tool pack. Once you install the analysis tool pack, store the data in appropriate columns, and then go to data tab, go to data analysis window, right? And these are various statistical methods available. But since in today's session we have to discuss about only t-test for hypothesis testing, so I have covered 4 different types of t-test. One is a one sample t-test, another is a two sample unequal variances, two sample equal variances, and pair t-test. Okay, hope you enjoyed the session about two sample about t-test for hypothesis testing using Microsoft Excel. You have my email address. You can contact me on my email address. You can check my website www.vrcbuzz.com tutorials statistics. Thank you very much.